This is Vivian Angamagisha, SPJ New England correspondent for Student News Live, and I'm here with Chase Oliver, the Libertarian Party candidate for president. Chase, thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, thank you for having me. I look forward to speaking to you and your listeners.
Awesome, thank you. And question one is, it's election day. How are you feeling today?
A mixture of excited and tired. This process, you always have the long days, the late nights, and last night was no different. I got into Dallas, Texas, where I'm at today, a little after midnight and sat in a plane for 2 hours waiting to get off the gate because of the bad weather, which is like, that happens when you travel, right? But you got to be up, you got to be ready to go. And of course, today is a very exciting day, election day, when millions and millions of Americans will go out and make their selection for president.
Right, and that would happen, the 2 hour little delay.
It happens. That's the fate that I'm very lucky that in this entire process I've missed exactly one flight, and it was because that was the day that Delta and all the other airlines had their computers mess up, and so I wasn't able to fly out that day. But other than that, I've made it where I've needed to go, which I consider as a candidate for president a very successful thing.
That's awesome. Question two is, what issues were most important to the voters that you encountered on the campaign trail, and what was it like to meet with them during your campaign?
Yeah, I think the biggest concern of the average voter is always going to be the economy, but in particular, I think it's inflation and cost of living is what people are looking at. We have relatively low unemployment, but we have is really skyrocketing prices, and so the way to address those economic concerns are balancing our federal budget. So we're not printing trillions out of thin air each year, which devalues our dollar. But voters are, they're ready to tell you about their kitchen table issues. They're ready to tell you about the fact that groceries are more expensive or that rent is going up. And that's that primary first concern for a person is like, how do they make their ends meet? Beyond that, I think the two biggest issues that are going to break in this election are for both immigration and women's right to choose. I think those are the two domestic issues outside of the economy that I have certainly been discussed with the most. And as somebody who is pro-immigration and pro-choice, it's an easy topic for me to discuss.
And what do you want voters to know as they head out to the polls?
Well, I want them to know that they have more than two options in their ballot, and that if they take an honest look and vote for who they think is the best, it will allow for more voices to enter the conversation. I don't want you to vote out of fear of someone else winning. When we do that, we condition ourselves to be stuck in this two-party system that gives us less and less quality candidates each cycle from each of the major parties. And so for me, I think the best option is for you to look outside of that two-party system, especially if you live in a state that is safe red or safe blue. Your vote is way better invested building up a third-party movement.
And how important is it for that to happen, for them to have more than the two parties?
Well, I think it's what is the solution to the division we're facing as a country. We're continuing to be more and more polarized and hyperpartisan. And I think that's because we have an either or, you're with us or against us style of politics in the two-party system. That's why I'm supporting the Voter Bill of Rights as a matter of policy. It's on my website. These are steps we can take to actually expand choices at our ballot, moving ballot access barriers, adopting ranked choice voting, adopting proportional representation. These are steps we can take to tear down those barriers, and it's needed. It's vital for our country because otherwise we're going to continue to divide ourselves and see elections just like this with a lot of vitriol and hatred.
And the final question is, what impact do you hope that your campaign had on the country and the Libertarian Party?
Well, we hope to be a disruptor in this election. We hope to beat the spread in many of the swing states to have an impact in this election. But beyond that, my keys to victory, what I would see as a successful campaign is that we've raised awareness of the Libertarian Party, that we've earned the vote totals in states across the country to secure ballot access or party status for future elections, and that we've helped put a positive face on libertarianism. One of the biggest misconceptions about our political philosophy is that we are selfish because we only care about the individual. We don't want to get the government involved. And so I think the best thing that I've done in this campaign is try to break that spell that we're not selfish. We just believe that the government is the worst way to allocate resources to help people. And we think there are better ways to do that.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you for joining us tonight.
Hey, thank you very much. And peace, love, and liberty to you and all those you know.
Have a great day. Good
All right.
luck.
Bye.